Greetings to you, Crocodile Army. I now have 2 people on my Facebook friends list who are dead from suicide. One died a few years ago and the other died a few days ago, and it feels strange to unfriend them, so there they sit. In both cases, I never knew them very well, but I have several friends who knew them quite well. As with most people who commit suicide, neither of them had any significant physical issue that was a threat to their lives. A combination of clinical depression and life circumstances, compounded by other mental illness, finally did them in. Suicide is not a choice I favor in nearly any circumstance. But what if someone is certain to die a painful death and merely wants to be able to dictate the terms, the last thing that they can control in their life, since they can't wish away a terminal illness? That is exactly the situation for 29-year-old Brittany Maynard, who has a very large brain tumor and just months to live. Her family is supportive, but you can probably guess which complete strangers are not supportive. She went public with her decision, and after CNN and others picked up the story, it has unleashed the latest round in the debate on physician-assisted suicide. Various religious bloggers have picked up the story as well, using the opportunity to remind the faithful that God knows better than they do what they need to do in life, all the way to the bitter and even very painful end if it comes to that. Mother Teresa, nicknamed Blessed Teresa of Calcutta, would be quite proud of them spreading the godliness through suffering ideas, while Jack Kevorkian, who had infinitely more compassion but was nicknamed Dr. Death, would be saddened by it. One especially awful article that was published on Catholic.com was obnoxiously titled "On the So-Called Choice in Dying," which I linked below. Fortunately for Brittany, she does legally have that choice, and there's no so-called to it. She changed her residency from California to Oregon, where in the late stages of a terminal illness, she has the right to end her own life without interference, after clearing various medical and other evaluation hurdles. She already has the prescribed drugs to do it and plans to take them on November 1st. The article opposing physician-assisted suicide, written by Trent Horn, was a study in sleight of hand, going into great detail about suicides involving people who are upset jumping off bridges, and trying to conflate that with the circumstances in this case. People who are about to jump off a bridge, if saved, could, and often do, go on to live a full life. Brittany Maynard is not going to get that opportunity, despite the alleged omnipotence and all-loving nature of Trent's God. He would have us believe that she should hang on, bedridden and increasingly emotionally and physically agitated as her mental faculties degrade, while her family gets to watch it all unfold in front of them. He also gives other examples that have no relation to her case, like an advocacy group for the disabled, who are against physician-assisted suicide because they think the chronically disabled will be next, and that they won't have a choice. This is fear-mongering on the scale of Sarah Palin's death panels. Another argument he makes that religious people often make when they think you shouldn't have the right to do something involving your body is to give you other options, as if it should be their choice to remove the option you prefer in the first place. Most of these go something like, want to be sure you won't have kids? Just don't have sex. Or, are you gay? Well, just don't ever have a romantic relationship, and God will be okay with that. He then helpfully suggests that the near-death terminally ill get plenty of pain medications. Thanks, Trent, I'm sure they'd never thought of that before. The armchair doctor then wraps it up by saying that he thinks that he's made a solid case against physician-assisted suicide without even using a religious argument, and of course follows that up with some Bible verses. It's interesting that there's this undertone in the article of taking the easy way out. There is no outcome that is going to be easy for anyone. Brittany Maynard will die soon either way, and her friends and family will be heartbroken. There's only one small consolation in this. No thanks to people like Trent. She won't have to suffer just to please anyone else's gods.